Hello people, I just wanted to put this video out about gang stalking and anybody who's been campaigning against chemtrails, HARP, the New World Order, Illuminati, in earnest, like I am. Well, I don't need to tell you what gang stalking is, I'm sure. But for those of you out there who don't, this is like what happened to me the other day. Right, you see this guy in this picture here? Closer. Right. This is one of my gang stalkers, okay? I decided that I was going to start taking pictures of these gang stalkers and putting them on the internet, which is what I'm doing now. Now, I was at the cash point in Bristol, and this guy just came along and stuck his head over my right shoulder in a kind of a menacing kind of way, as I was getting some money out of my cash point, and then he sort of like quickly just moved on past me. I thought, oh, here we go. Is this a gang stalker? You know. And then this is what gang stalker. This is their intentions, right? To annoy you and get on your nerves and run you down so much that you don't even know what you're doing yourself. You don't even know what you're thinking. It's just horrific sometimes, you know. It's anyway. Basically, what I was doing is drawing some money out of the bank account, out of a different bank, and putting it into another bank, Lloyd's, which is the bank I was taking it out of. Anyway, I turned around and I just forgot to do this because my mind was on this guy, this gang stalker. And as I started to walk across the road, he looked at me and looked at the bank and as if to say, shouldn't you be going in the bank now? That's exactly what he did. I swear on my life, that's exactly what he did. He looked at me as I crossed the road and said, hang on, you were supposed to go into the bank next. Because they know your every move, they know what you're doing. Alright, anyway, so I thought, right, I'm going to take a picture of you, and I just move on a bit. So he got sort of halfway down the road. I carried on and taking pictures of this guy. And I noticed this, you know, who is this guy looking at? Why is he looking at me taking a picture of him? You know, just thought I'd point that out. And I don't really. Does she seem to be looking down or looking at me? Looking across the road at me? Okay, anyway. This is just one of my instances. I mean, if he didn't look round and give me the facial expression, why aren't you going into the bank now? I would have most probably thought, is he a gangster or isn't he? You know, okay, he was weird and menacing and looked over my shoulder when I was in the cash point. But, you know, you've got to draw a line somewhere, you know, between reality and what these guys are doing. Anyway, so there we go. I took a picture of him, and if he didn't do that, then I would be in two minds. And then, like I said, what is he looking at? What is he looking at? You know? And he does. He looks suspicious, doesn't he? He didn't look round or anything. It was weird. The whole situation was weird. And now I have to put up with this on a daily basis now. As soon as I leave my flat, you know, it's like you're in a movie, and after a while you get to see and you start to trip them up. You know, it's weird. It really, it's evil. It's frightening, and I don't believe it's happening to me. You know, I'm getting 1,500 views a week and rising. Okay, I have almost 21,000 views. Okay, these guys, right? The fossil fuels. Okay, is $8 to $9 trillion a year. That's how much they are getting for fossil fuels. $8 to $9 trillion a year. Okay, That's what they've enslaved us to do, to use their oil. We don't need it. We have over unity. It's on my side. Anyway, I don't want to get off the subject. So my point is, they've got $8 to $9 trillion a year, right? It's, you know, they can put people on the ground anywhere in this world. They have operatives everywhere. I call them operatives, and they can put them in action straight away. Okay, and that's how they do it. Okay, so I decided I'm going to start taking pictures of these evil gang stalkers, these people who seem to think they can interfere with your life, and annoy you, and you know, and it works. I've forgotten I had to go in a bank. I started walking across the road and I thought, why did he look at me like he knew what I was going to do? Why did he peep over my shoulder when he looked over when I was doing my cash point? You know, it's just things like that, you know. Anyway, moving on. So, what's next? Right, this wonderful lady here. There's another thing I have to point out. It's not a very good picture, but the colour pink is being used all the time. Pink, aluminium pink oxide is one of the main things that you get when chemtrailing. When you're chemtrailing, you get aluminium oxide in the evening, pink sky. It's totally unnatural. It's evil. It's horrible, and it just looks wrong. It looks like some sort of Martian landscape, and that's because of the aluminium oxide and barium oxide sulfates that they're spraying. It reflects off the sun, and it looks really, really pink. You know, it's just ridiculous. And I've noticed it in adverts, on telly, in films, on clothes, on anything they can. They are using pink. Okay, pink in the background, pink in the sky, wherever it is, they're using pink. That's just, you know, I'm getting off the subject, but that is another subject I'll get into at some point. Anyway, back to gang stalking. Anyway, so I was on a journey through Bristol, going through the back streets by Clifton, and this car slowed right down in front of me, almost stopped, and then it just he wouldn't turn left, he wouldn't turn right at this junction here. You can see this junction down the bottom there. I stopped my motorcycle, I was behind him, he wouldn't turn left, he just stopped in the middle of the road, and I thought, what are you doing? You know? And this is happening quite regularly to me now. So I went to overtake the guy, and this woman, she came out of nowhere and almost walked in front of me to cross the road. And I thought, I don't believe it, you know? So I thought, right, okay. So I did a U-turn on my motorcycle, came back at the street, and I thought, how can I take a picture of this gang stalker? So I thought, I know, I'm going to pretend I'm taking a picture of this for sale sign. You know? And as I did, I pretended to do the shutter, and she bent down. And as she bent back up, I took a picture of her. And there we go. I know, it's a pretty crap picture, but... And she's also, you know, pink bag, pink umbrella, you know. I'll get onto that subject of the pink aluminium oxide and the sky in the evenings later. Anyway, moving on. So I thought, right, that's it. I'll take a picture of her. Keep taking pictures of these gang stalkers if I can. And lo and behold, I went up the road, turned the corner, and this guy just started putting his brakes on, you know, like he was doing a Morse bloody code or something. I thought, what's the matter, mate? What are you doing that for? And then he pulled into the side of the road. I thought, what's he doing? You know, shall I overtake him? I thought, I'm going to take a picture of you, mate. Okay, I think you're a gang stalker. And he stopped. I pulled over. It's a big motorcycle, 600cc motorcycle. It's noticeable. I pulled up right almost behind him, stopped, got my camera out, and I took a picture of him. And he didn't even flinch. He didn't look back or nothing. And a guy came out of this shop here. He ran across the road and got in the car, and they drove off. He didn't even look back at me once. He didn't look back at the fact that I stopped and I was taking a picture of him. Nothing. Right? Okay. Let's move on. Right. This is in Clifton Supermarket, the cooperative. And I was, you know, as you do, rushing in there to do a bit of shopping. And I was in the corner by the cheese shelf, and this man here, this guy, this person, he came nearly running right up behind me, as if he was going to stab me in the back. And just as I caught him out the back of my eye doing that, I moved and he stopped. And I thought, you know, what the hell was that about, you know? He didn't say anything, do anything. I thought, Russ, you know, is this another gang stalker? Anyway, so I thought, right, I'm going to take his picture. And I've decided not only to start taking their pictures, okay, but to actually start, you know, labelling them what they are. So I stood behind these people here and I thought, right, I'm a gang stalker, you know, as you do, you know. And he didn't turn around. These two people didn't turn around. And I thought, what's going on here? And I said, gang stalker, oi. And he didn't look round. He did not look round. These two people kind of went, you know, some weirdo behind us saying something. So I thought, right. I said it, saying, gang stalker, right? And then he started going red. You can just about see here, he's just starting to go a bit red. Well, his whole face went red. You can see the top of his head. See that? Red as anything. Anyway, he kind of turned around, and as he sort of turned around, I managed to snap another picture. And unfortunately, that's all I got. Is like, you know, some sort of blurred face of this gang stalker. He didn't look at me. He didn't say excuse me. What did you say or anything? He just ignored me and went bright red. Right. Okay. So there he is. Just looking a bit dumb. There's people behind him not really doing anything. And anyway, so I thought, right, okay, you know, got your picture, gang stalker. So, and I thought, there was something about these two people too. She kept looking at me, not in the ways of what are you saying, but she looked at me in a way that, you know, I don't know, like she had some sort of power over me or something, I don't know, and he did too. It was just weird. So I thought, well, I'm going to get you two on the way out of the bank. And as I took the picture, as you can see, he's turning away. So I want my picture taken, and she's just like, you know, whatever. And also, at the same time as this going on, this girl here, well, there's my motorcycle parked up there. This girl here with the motorcycle helmet on and stuff. Sorry, what about cycling helmet and, you know, the bag and stuff and the bikes there. She was in the supermarket and she kept looking at me and she kept hovering around me. And I thought, you know, I'm getting fed up with this, you know. I understand what these people are on about gang stalking. It's evil. You don't get a moment to yourself. Let's look at it, right? And I came out and lo and behold, this person that was in the supermarket looking at me, she made sure that she was next to her push bike, right? At the same time I was coming out to get on my motorbike. And I stood, as you can see, I stood in this doorway, okay? And I said, gang stalker, quite loudly, and took pictures of her. And she didn't look around, she didn't look at me, she didn't do anything. I said, gang stalker, and took more pictures of her, and she just kept doing what she was doing. I thought, no, I'm sorry, but anybody, you know, I would turn around and say, excuse me, what are you saying? You know, what's going on? What did you say? You know, I'm just that sort of person. People say things and take pictures of me. I tend to sort of go turn around and say, excuse me, what are you doing? You know, as you do. But she didn't. She just kept on going, you know, I suppose you could use the excuse that she might have been a bit weary or frightened of me, but I keep a smile on my face, I'm polite, I open doors with people, you know, I wait my turn in queues, you know, she could have said, what are you doing that for? But anyway, moving on. Right, now this is related to a situation I was into. I put a video on YouTube, eBay, what am I at? Let me find it now because I've got it here. Right. This is about JFK, okay? Now this is the New World Order and Evil Deception. This video is on my site, okay? This is a video of a video which is putting out exposing the New World Order and what happened to President Kennedy, JFK, okay? So I had to expose this video because it's a New World Order deception video, okay? And part of the reason I exposed this, if I just play this video, you'll see what I'm on about. So I'm just jiggling about a bit. Right, this is why I exposed this false information with this video. I press play.
For expanding its sphere of influence. What's happening? Where am I? I believe, perhaps you
Turn the
understand.
volume up.
JFK. Herman, what does this have to do with my house and my dog? Oh, okay, that's enough. I want to go home now. This is the last president to stand up to the Fed. You must see. On June 4, 1963, President Kennedy signed Executive Order 11110. This executive order empowered the U.S. Treasury to issue real money without the Fed. It would have worked. Kennedy's plan to dismantle the Federal Reserve machine had begun. 6 months later, John F. Kennedy went to Dallas and never returned. No?
Okay, right. Now, there's a video on YouTube, and I believe it myself. It makes perfect sense. JFK was assassinated because he was going to go disclosure. He was going to go disclosure. He was going to say, we are not alone. Roswell happened. There are ETs and all sorts of things going on. But and he drawn up some papers with his vice president, and he was about to go global with disclosure. And lo and behold, he was assassinated in Texas, in Dallas. Okay, Dallas, Texas. Okay, so this is using the truth. Okay, there's a lot of truth in this video. Right? That's why I uploaded it to my site until I had a proper look at it. Right? They're getting really, really nasty now because, well, they're nasty anyway. But they're mixing the truth. You know, they're mixing the truth with the evil New World Order lies, so that they can steer you away from the fact that JFK. Oh, whoa! No way! Really? Okay, I'll finish it off here. JFK, right, was shot because he was going to go for disclosure, okay? It had nothing to do with this. What was it? See what I mean? This is happening quite regularly now. See? An error occurred. Why? Why has that happened? Anyway, right, let's just stop it. The reason why I showed you this video... Alright, everything's frozen now, that's interesting. That's okay, I'll click out of that, I don't need that. The reason why I showed you this video is because this, you work out your own, make up your own mind how or what happened here. A few days later, in the charity shop down the road, right, there was a newspaper here, a newspaper cutting here from the Bristol Times or something. I don't know what it was, but it was when President Kennedy was assassinated. It was front page news, and the newspaper was there. Okay, and I thought, whoa, what a coincidence, A few days later, literally about 3 or 4 days later, walking past my charity shop, Oxfam, and there was a piece, was front page news of Western Daily Press. I don't know what it was, but at the time, whatever that paper was, with JFK's assassination, a picture of it. I thought, I want to buy this, And sure, I never had enough money. I don't know how much it was, and it was sold. And this was left, and that was left. Okay, there's other papers. It's a bit blurry with on about times and stuff that year. Anyway, so I had to take that as a coincidence. You got it. You know what I mean? It's crazy, isn't it? And they happen. And then I just happened to leave my flat one morning. There's a car park outside here. There's a Nutfield hospital that's been built last summer, and that was a nightmare. And this car was parked there, right? And check this out. Come on, what else is going to freeze? What's going to go wrong? Check, see it? Right? FK. I just managed to get the corner of it, FK, right? FK. That's an F, and that's a K, right? And what's that? It's a J. J, F, K. That's a coincidence. It's I'm looking. It's a coincidence again. Okay. I have seen this out on the road. I've seen this JFK, full JFK, not with NFK. But anyway, it's another coincidence, isn't it? Or is it? Moving on. Right, this is it, folks. Tesco's Metro in Eastville. I think it's Eastville, isn't it? Eastville, Fish Ponds. I go there quite regularly. I've been going there for about, on and off about 25 years. I've been back in Bristol for 13. I've been going there on and off for 13 years. Doing my shopping there, as you do, as thousands of other people do. And lo and behold, guess what? I started being gang stalked in there. It was horrific. It was every corner I turned, everything I did, they were there, getting in my way. See, what they have to do is wear you down. The whole idea of gang stalking at this level with me and with other people that are at this level, the whole idea is just to wear you down. It's just to constantly get in your way, put coincidences out there which are just really, you think, hang on a second, like, as I have just shown you. And, I don't want to call you mad. I don't want you or anyone else to call me mad. So I have to look at this as coincidence as well. Okay? Although my own independent point of view is I'm being gang stalked to buggery. Okay, remember, I'm getting 1,500 views a week and rising rapidly. 21,000 views to date. I am their enemy. They have $9 trillion a year on fossil fuels. They can do what they want to do. In any way, shape, form, and all the other people they're gang stalking. Technology, satellites, you name it, they're on you. Okay, but they do it in such a way that you can't, it's hard to prove it. So that's why I decided to start saying, gang stalker, you're a gang stalker, yeah? Pointing them out and taking pictures, yeah? Just saying it out loud, gang stalker, Anyway, and the thing I've noticed that when you do that, right, the same with the guy in the supermarket, they are not allowed to interfere. They've been told to gang stalk, but one thing they cannot do is turn around and start talking to you or getting involved in an argument unless they've specified that. And that's happened to me as well. I'll go on to, I've pulled in, no, I'm not going to get off this subject, okay? Right. So, I do my shopping here. About a week ago, I was gang stalked in this supermarket, and I started behind the counter, bread counter, gang stalker. Every time they walked into me with their pictures of skulls on their T-shirts, because that represents the New World Order, the skeleton, the skull. That started happening to me now. And you think, oh, and these people are just normal, everyday people that you think are just, in your neighbourhood or around the city that and they just appear in front of you and you think, what the hell? And you realise, after a while, you're being gang stalked. Anyway, so I thought, right, okay, so I did this last week, and this is really, you're not going to believe this. I went and did some shopping in Tesco's yesterday, and it was weird. You know when something's weird, this guy immediately looked at me, and I thought, oh God, here we go, we're going to start getting gang stalking. And I sort of pushed the trolley around the corner, and it was like somebody intercepted someone that was going to gang stalk me. And it was like that every corner. It was weird. It was like, you're in a situation where you feel freer and you can't feel, there's not these people around you constantly monitoring you, gang stalking you, getting in your way. It felt like that for the first time in a while, because it's been happening to me for a while now. I thought, hang on a second, you know what I mean? Something's going on here, and I swear upon, let's say, I just swear that I walked past one of these girls that was stacking the shelf, and she said gang stalker, right? She said gang stalker. It was I thought, right, okay, and this is one of the, the people that work in Tesco stacking the shelves, and she said gang stalker. I thought, right, okay. So, okay, this is what I'm thinking has happened, right? My last visit before this to Tesco's, and I was shouting out gang stalker right in front of them, taking pictures. They don't say anything. They keep moving. They don't turn around and say, excuse me, what did you say, Obviously, you're not going to get it right every time, so you have to go careful. But yeah, anyway, and you know, honestly, guys, I swear by Almighty God, yeah, Tesco's gang stalked the gang stalkers. Right? And there's this guy. It was weird. The first guy that stared at me when I went in there, you know, I'm sure, and he looked at me, and I felt this feeling of like we're taking care, we're stopping these gang stalkers. You know, I don't know if it's Tesco's that decided to take it upon itself to do this, or I'm thinking they checked the video. Because someone must have said, there's some mad guy shouting, "Stat gang stalker," you know, in my last visit before this, and, you know, kind of looking at people would go, you know, they must have looked at the video evidence. They've got bloody cameras everywhere in Tesco's. Well, any shopper, you know, it's thieves and whatnot. Poor demented people like me shouting out "gang stalker," you know. Anyway, I'm thinking that they looked at the video evidence from my last visit and they sussed it out. They must have looked at the whole floor, looked at where these gang stalkers were coming from, how they were walking towards me. I even saw it myself. This old lady with the bag. She, you know, it's like it's like action. And I saw her and she was like all flustered. Oh, here he is. Oh, I better start putting something in his way or looking at him weirdly, or, you know. I just looked at her and I thought, yeah, I laugh now. You've got to laugh. You've got to laugh because it's just, it is really, you know, it's really, you know, freaking me out, to be honest with you. And I just wanted to put this video on, and I just wanted to say thank you, Tesco's, right? You know, I'm thinking you wouldn't have done this, right, if you know who these people really are. They owned you, they own this world, they own everything on it, and you've just said, no, this is not going to happen in my store, you know. You're not going to come in here gang stalking people. And anyway, I came out. It was a bit more sunny than this particular picture. This is an old one of Tesco's. Came out, walked across the road. There's a tree there with my motorcycle. Put me shopping in the back of the me box on the back of the motorcycle, and this amazing Apache helicopter just flew straight over Tesco's and straight over me and straight off up 2 fish ponds, and I've not seen one like that. I mean, it was real heavy duty military thing, and again, coincidence, it has to be, you know. I mean, why did that, you know, it's just isolated coincidence. Anyway, so I got home and I was so chuffed. I was thinking, yes, Tesco's gang stalked the gang stalkers. Ha ha! You know, have some of that. And then I started realising, I started thinking, shit, you know, Tesco's, you have no idea what they're going to do to you now. Okay? You know, things are going to start happening. You're not going to get your loans for your extra bit of shop you want to put up, or you know, things. You know, they will start on you because you went against them, and you don't know who and what they are and how powerful they are. Or is this a total disinformation situation they created, right, to make it look like that there is someone out there that knows and that's helping, just to twist it around totally, you know, just like auto-reverse disinformation. I don't know, you know what it's like, you know what they're like. I'm just telling you the facts and how the way I feel about this, because, like I said, I've been gang stalked now for about 2 years. Even my next door neighbour in the summertime, when they gather around my new motorcycle, they just, you know, oh, no word of a lie, a crowd of people was gathered around my motorcycle, making the alarm go off. And my next door neighbour said, action. Even my next door neighbour, who knows nothing about what's going on, I don't even know her, she said, action, you know, out the window. I thought, nice one, you know. But I'll say, you know, I should have really started doing this a while ago, the fact that they've been gang stalking and stuff, but it's, you know, it's when this happens to you, no one believes you, and they make sure that no one believes you, and they make sure that it's just done so poetically and executed so well that, you know, you're going mad. It's you know, you seek medical attention like a psychiatrist, you know. But sorry, people, you know, I am being gang stalked, and this happened. This really, really happened. Anyway, I got back here and I thought, that's it. I've got to put a video out about this. This was yesterday, And you know, every time I look out my window now, a car goes by. Every time I go to my window, a car goes by, and it's just ridiculous. It really is. It's just any in which way they can. There's a car that keeps going by. It's the same car, and it used to go by every 10 to 15 minutes. And then another car would go by every 10, and then they would turn around somewhere and come by again, go back, come by. And you know, I've got videos of that. I've got a video of these cars going backwards and forwards and, you know, doing strange things. You know, it's just, this is the way these evil gang stalkers work anyway. So I came home, I thought, right, I've got to put a video of this, you know. Thinking in my head, you know, let's do this. And I looked outside, and you make your own minds up. You judge this for yourself, right? I looked outside my window, and I saw this. I kind of went, whoa, really? Okay? TNT, sure we can. Like I said, it's a coincidence, you know, it's a coincidence, there we go. Just happened to be parked outside my house, my residential area. TNT, sure we can. And in very little words here it says zero emissions electric vehicle. Right, okay. I'm thinking, you know, I have to take this as a coincidence, you know. Can you imagine a lorry that size, full of explosive, what it would do to this? It would blow a home. It would blow half of Clifton away. And I've already made up my mind. I don't care. As long as I don't feel any pain, I don't care. Blow me up. Go on. As long as I don't feel any pain. See, that's the thing, you see. For a while now, I know it's going to sound really outlandish, okay, but this is a situation I'm in. For a while now, I've been thinking, you know, what if they, you know, what in those movies where they capture people and they start torturing them, you know, they've got cyanide pills or something, they can kill themselves so they can't be tortured to death, okay? And things are going through my head like that, and I'm thinking, you know, what if they, you know, I'll be walking along the road one day, you know, and van pulls up, I get dragged in, you know the scenario, next minute you're waking up in a chair, tied to a chair with this guy looking at you with all these instruments, like, you know. I think, you know, no thank you very much. A quick way to kill myself. I don't want to be tortured to death. A big bomb like this going off outside, you know, I wouldn't feel a thing. Just, you know, pain, I've had my fair share of pain. I've been disemboweled 6 years ago. I lost parts of my digestive system, and it broke inside of me, it ruptured inside of me, and I was rushed into hospital, and I just wanted out with the pain. I would have asked my worst enemy. This sort of pain is, you know, it's. I would have died. You know, I had 2 foot of my small intestines removed, and I'm surviving now. I've had corrective surgery, taken medication. I suffered from 32 years of chronic exhaustion, which is what the twist in my small intestines caused from childbirth. It's another subject, but I've had my fair share of pain, and things like this goes through your mind. Anyway, I'm getting off the subject a bit. So I thought, no way, you know, no way. After what just happened in Tesco's, you know, and then this pulls up outside my flat. TNT, sure we can, you know. And can you notice in the background over here, you got a red car, a black car, and a red car. Okay, right. So I thought, okay, you know, let's just get on what I was doing. It's just me being mad. It's a coincidence. So, no, I know it's, well, you know, you make your minds up. I don't, you know, it's just, these things keep happening now. Okay, and there it is again. It pulled away, right? And then, lo and behold, this white van's just parked straight in the middle of these 2 red cars. And I'm thinking, is this continuing the threat? You know, if that went off, that was sort of explode. This whole block would go, neighbours, everything, half the hospital behind us. But you know, this is what they did in 9/11. So you know, we're nothing to them, are we? We're just numbers. So they can carry on taking the world over with the evil New World Order protocol. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. Just back to the gang stalker where this started, at the bank. I've been getting tinnitus. I'm 48 years old. I've never had tinnitus. I'm getting tinnitus in my left ear. Strange, warm vibrations down the left-hand side of my body in the evening, and it usually starts in the evening. I have woken up with it before. I suppose I just have to accept the fact that suddenly I've just developed tinnitus. And I've heard this is one of they've had, now this is true. You can actually make your own handheld microwave weapon. All you have to do is get a microwave, take the door off, put a screwdriver in the safety switch on the hatch the way you close the door. I don't know, get some Mylar or something reflective material, wrap it around the front of the door into a small tube and turn it on, and if you aim that tube at something, it will aim at those microwaves bouncing around in the microwave, through the front door, down the reflective tube that you made, and you can actually hit somebody with, apparently that is a real basic microwave weapon that you can make, and your next door neighbour could make one and aim it at you. And people who live by the mobile telegraph pole, things that send out the signals from mobile telephones. Most people that have lived around them have either moved or they've had their house resurfaced with a silver stuff like Mylar, so it reflects the microwaves. Anyway, I'm getting off the subject a bit, but I just had to put this out there because it's, in some ways it's for my own protection. These people should not be allowed to get away with doing this, right? And what happened to me yesterday was unprecedented, I think. Tesco's saw what was happening. They turned the tables, or so, perhaps they made me seem like that's what they turned the tables. And I got back home. I was going to put this out on the internet then, and all this happened to me. Like I said, I'll just put the facts there. You make up your own minds. But yeah, gang stalking, it exists, and I am a victim of it. Thanks, people.